Well, hello, class, and welcome to Marriage and Family Systems from Moody Bible Distance Learning. This is your fearless leader, Professor Jeff. Except where I'm sitting, I'm Mr. Williams. This is my 7th grade science class. I hope you had a wonderful time wherever you were watching the eclipse. I wonder if any of you were in totality. Would you please email me and let me know if you were in the path of totality, because that would have been really cool. You would have seen the diamond ring effect and Bailey's beads. That's going to be on their pop quiz tomorrow, by the way. So, welcome to week 2. A couple of thoughts about week 1, watching the discussion boards. Fantastic job. Really, really good discussion. I really liked some of the back and forth that I was reading. I want you to make sure, don't wait till Monday night to post questions. Don't, because then it doesn't give enough time for that person to respond. And if I post a question to you, I expect it to be answered. So if I post an answer, make sure you answer that question before Monday night. Okay, week 2. One more thing. I will begin grading. I'm teaching 4 classes this 8 weeks, and I'm got 124 7th graders. So I'm going to go as fast as I can on it. I promise. I could use some prayer for all that. So this week. Week 2. Week 2 is my favorite week of my favorite class. The reason I say that is we're going to talk about pornography. We're going to talk about something that is wreaking havoc in the church. We're going to talk about something that is destroying not only young men, but young women that I work with, and even older. I wanted to tell you that I have been working in this area for probably 20 years. I have been working with men specifically that are bound in a pornography addiction. I help lead a group at my church for that. I've written about that. I've spoken about that. And it's very, very near to my heart. A lot of men are not able to lead their families. They're not able to lead their churches. They're not able to lead at all because they are completely wrapped in the cycle of guilt and shame and regret. So, with that said, you're going to read Mulaney and Bush, and specifically you're going to be reading about brain chemistry. That is something that I think that most people do not understand when it comes to pornography. It's sort of like, I think one of you posted the Bob Newhart thing, stop it. It comes to a point where people are biochemically addicted to the chemicals that are released during the activity of watching pornography. And you actually have to help them break out of that addiction. So I've been doing that. Here's what I want to say. As you're doing your discussion board, please be sensitive. If you have had issues with this area, please, it's okay to say that, but don't trigger anyone. Don't put anything that probably would be inappropriate. But if you have had issues in that area and you have come out of that, as I have, then it's really important for you to share how that happened, because there's a lot of people that are still stuck. So, with that said, you're going to do a paper about how Romans 12:2, renewing your mind, in light of what you're going to learn about brain chemistry and biochemical reactions. How does renewing the mind, how does that maybe more nuanced or a fuller understanding of what that means? And then you're going to do a discussion board. Why is pornography destructive to before marriage and after marriage? I wanted to tell you a quick story. I was working with a couple, and she was sitting at the table, and she typed in something on her computer, and she just took the computer. She didn't say a word. She took the computer and she moved it over to her husband. And she had put it on xxchurch.com, which is an amazing website to help men particularly get out of pornography addiction and sexual addiction, a Christian website. He didn't say a word. He simply started typing, and then he pushed the computer back to her, and he had put it on Weight Watchers. And I had to try to deal with that. So you can understand how angry she was about that, and the lack of taking responsibility of how he was hurting his wife. So I want you to think deeply about this because research tells us that sitting in your churches, 75% of men are dealing with this issue at some point, and now up to 50% of women. And I have now been dealing with teenage girls that are truly biochemically addicted to watching pornography, which is very odd because females are not visual. So something's happening in our culture. Something's happening within the brains of our young girls. So if you want to talk about this, almost every class I've had a student, females and males, email me privately and say, hey, I'm still struggling with this. Hey, I have a friend who's struggling with this, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever. Let me know. This is what I do. This is my really my calling and my passion to help rescue guys and rescue their marriages. So let me know. With that said, the question of the week I already said was, did you watch the eclipse? That's all. And were you in totality? Did you actually get to experience totality? Okay, onward and upwards.